If you've just joined us, welcome to Central News. A new high-level action plan to reduce the Waikato's crash rates has been approved by the Waikato Regional Council. Aimee Forrest caught up with the Travel Behaviour Change Coordinator to find out more.
Hi Joe, now tell us about the high-level action plan.
The action plan is a 3-year plan which brings all of the agencies involved in road safety together to look at ways that we can improve the road system. There are a number of different components to the plan and there's a number of different agencies involved, but we're aiming to reduce serious injury and death on the region's roads.
So what are the main factors that contribute to Waikato's high road toll?
Yeah, it's quite a complex set of circumstances. So basically, when you're travelling in the Waikato, you have a higher exposure to risk than in many other regions in the country, and that's what we want people to understand. So we have a large and complex roading system. We've obviously got a lot of traffic on the road. We've got freight movements, we've got tourist traffic, we've got commuter traffic. And largely we have roads that just aren't designed to be used by that many vehicles and at high speeds. So complex range of issues. We also have a lot of drivers who choose to drive under the influence of alcohol, fatigued, speeding. So all of those factors contribute to, unfortunately, quite a high road toll in this region.
And what are the key priorities that you're focusing on?
So we're working with what's known as a safe system approach, and this is international best practice, and we've adopted it in New Zealand. So we have a New Zealand strategy called Safer Journeys, and that guides the national policies and actions in this area. And we have a regional approach which is also based on the safe system. And what that simply means is we're no longer just focusing on one area. We're not focusing on the driver and always educating the driver. We're trying to look at each of the component parts of the roading system. And there are 4 principal parts. The roads themselves, the infrastructure, the drivers or the road users, we're all road users in one way or another. The vehicles that are on the roads, so the safety of those vehicles themselves. And lastly, most importantly, is actually speed, and that's a critical factor in every crash. Every crash is related to speed. So the principal point of difference is that we're recognising that humans are fallible, humans do make mistakes, and what we're trying to do is, in the event of making a mistake, actually prevent that mistake from costing them their life or serious harm.
So where else has this system been trialled and how successful was it?
So the system has been extensively trialled in Europe. Most of our best practice tends to come from the Netherlands and Sweden with road safety. It was adopted by the World Health Organization in 2004 as best practice. So just to give you an idea of the scale of the issue worldwide, road crashes contribute to about 1 million deaths worldwide every year and about 50 million serious injuries. So it's up there with some of the major pandemics. But we just don't recognise it that way. So I think what we're trying to do is, put more emphasis on the risk of road crashes and actually try to bring them to the forefront of people's minds. So it has been trialled extensively around the world. It's now well known in Australia. It's been here for about 3 years. It's taken us that long to get our heads around what it actually means. And now we're actually sort of coming to terms with what we have to be doing to make it effective.
So it's already been implemented?
Yeah, we're building on the national strategy, which has been around for about 3 or 4 years now, and we also had a strategy in the region that came out 3 years ago. So that, to begin with, was about understanding the theory. Now we're coming to terms with actually implementing some of the really hard measures that are going to make a difference to the road toll.
Now, in terms of the road toll, whereabouts does the Waikato sit nationally?
We consistently sit at about 20% of the national road toll. So there's different ways of looking at it. So you can look at it from a pure numbers perspective, and we're about 20%. So we have, last year we had 65 fatalities and about 400 serious injury crashes just in the Waikato alone, sitting against just around about 300 fatalities nationwide. In terms of exposure to risk, we're much higher. So there are different ways to cut it, but either way, road safety is a serious priority for the Waikato region. And I think what is so positive about the Waikato region is that that's now been recognised by all of the agencies involved, by our regional politicians, by our leaders, and we're all on the same page with the fact that we actually want to do something about it, which is great.
So how are the Regional Council involved with this strategy?
Regional Council is the organisation that's responsible for coordinating the Regional Transport Committee, and you may be familiar with the committee. So that's made up of high-level politicians from each of our local authorities, from the main agencies involved in transport. The Transport Committee is responsible for road safety strategy. So Regional Council staff work with staff from many other agencies to come up with a strategy, but it's under the guidance of the Transport Committee, and ultimately at the end of the day they're the organisation that owns it and are responsible for delivering it. Regional Council is coordinating that work.
And what would be the ultimate goal of this new action plan?
Well, the vision, we're deliberately being very ambitious. We have a vision, and it is a vision of 0 deaths and serious injuries on the region's roads. Now, obviously, that's a long-term vision. What we're working towards with this strategy is the 2040 target of halving our road toll. So that's what we've committed to, and that's what we're working towards. So each time we bring out the strategy, we are actually monitoring progress, so we know what we need to tweak to see, whether we're making progress in the right area, and we will keep reviewing it and revising our strategy. But that's what we're aiming for, to halve the road toll by 2040.
And I hear that you've recently won an award, so can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, I did. I was very privileged to be the first recipient of the Leo J. Tooman Road Safety Award. And you may be familiar with Leo Tooman. He was our road policing manager here for 48 years, in road policing for 48 years, and latterly the road policing manager for the Waikato district. And in his time, he saw the regional road toll halve. Particularly honoured, I suppose, to receive that award, because Leo just was such an inspiration to all of those people that worked with him. And he never lost sight of the human tragedy involved in road crashes, and it's fitting to see his legacy live on.
For more information, visit waikatoregion.gov.nz. That is the news for today. We really want you to be involved, so like us on Facebook and let us know your views. If you have news including your own video and photos, go to our website and hit upload. Thanks for joining us. I will be back tomorrow night with more guests from in and around the regions. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.